Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Pokemon X. Gonna be doing a little streaming on YouTube for a while instead of over on the Twitch, because we are getting a little bit closer every day to hitting our goal. On YouTube, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And we're trying to get to, I think it's 4,000 hours watch time. So, I'm going to be streaming every day for the foreseeable future until I meet those goals. I'm also committing myself to completing all the games this year that we've started and not finished. The latter half of 2025 is going to be a, finish everything-a-thon. Yeah, I tried to go live on YouTube and Streamlabs glitched big time and got confused and made me go live on Twitch, I guess. You'll have to let me know if the game audio is too loud or just right. I just adjusted it. Looks like the emulator's having a little bit of a tough time today. Well, they paywalled multi-streaming, unfortunately, or else I would multi-stream to both platforms. In Streamlabs OBS, you have to pay in order to multi-stream. Otherwise, I would. I've always wanted to. Simulcast to both platforms would be great. But what can you do? Bum, bum, ba, bum, 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 bum. You're gonna get Dragon Clawed. Yeah, there's other ways, other platforms that are free. I just don't feel like dealing with it. I very much am committed to Streamlabs and don't really want to use anything else, you know. Although, what's that other streaming platform that everybody uses? I might look into that. I can't remember the name of it. When I first started recording and streaming, I always used OBS. And then they came out with Streamlabs OBS. You know what I mean? Oh, I should have used Dragon instead of... Oh well. Yeah, don't do that. Don't pay $129 a month. I will tell you this. Things have gotten so bad here in the future. All these companies want you to pay for every little thing, and they're nickel and diming us to death, man. Don't pay for anything. I'm a cheap son of a bitch. Don't pay for anything you don't absolutely have to. Can't let them win. God, what was the name of that other program? Also, why is... I gotta look it up. It's pissing me off that I can't remember. Um, Streamlabs, OBS. I'm trying to remember the one that I've heard about. You're not listing any of the ones that I'm looking for. Search the internet. I tell you what. StreamYard, that's it. StreamYard. I knew it was gonna bug me until I could remember it. Yeah, most people use OBS or Streamlabs. I don't know why, but there's a few reaction channels on YouTube that they insist on using StreamYard. I have no idea. I don't know. You're asking the wrong one. I have no idea what makes StreamYard stand out for them so much. That was what was throwing me off, is that it also started with the word stream. I was thinking it was a different word or something, but no, it's StreamYard. I don't think they're related. I don't know. Neck hurts. Oh. Ba 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 ba. I'm gonna punch you in the fist. Parting shot. Or was that shout? I may have misread that. We're gonna get I'll run to Ram. You can stockpile all you want, but that's not going to protect you from earthquake. I was wrong. See, I've never even heard of Twitch Studio. I didn't know they had their own. Ooh, horn drill. You know what? Screw it. We'll get rid of Crunch. I don't want to get rid of Crunch, but I'll do it. Blast eyes! My good old buddy, old pal, old friend. Hit him with safe. Ooh, rain dance. Do we have room for it? We do. Oh, they actually discontinued Twitch Studio? Well, there you go. Hey, it's these guys. That's helpful. They're supposed to be like superheroes, or why'd I do that? $51, $50. Okay, we'll switch out to dual blade. Fight me, glasses. Fight me, sunglasses. Let's see. We'll go ahead and start working on sword dance. Oh, you ball. First few streams only had some weird timer on it. Yeah, you didn't have access to VODs. They recently cleared out a lot of people's storage on Twitch. Which, you know, it's one of those things where Twitch was always more about the streaming than the video hosting, you know? You want to host videos, you go to YouTube. Twitch was more just for like live entertainment. My thing is, I kind of want both. What's more important to me is having my videos forever, though. So I won't do anything on any platform where I can't keep my data forever. Of course, none of that matters for me because I record while streaming. Which that's why I keep telling everybody. So, my dad is texting me. And I forgot what I said. Oh yeah, that's why I tell everybody to make sure that when you do this, you do record while streaming, and make sure you got a PC that can handle it, because you're gonna want those videos years from now. Trust me. You're gonna want to be able to look back and say, "Wow, look at how goofy I was." Yeah, nobody watches. Well, be honest with you, the one Twitch streamer I watch, I only watch her VODs. It's insufferable to watch live, because when I watch the VODs, I watch it like 1.25 speed, and her music doesn't save to her VOD, and it's the only way I can watch her, because when she's live streaming, there's a way that you can, like, here's the thing. With Streamlabs OBS, you can play music while you're streaming, like copyrighted music, but there's a way and a setting you can set to where it won't save the music to the VOD. For anybody wondering, VOD is video on demand. It's basically just like a YouTube video. You go to the video, you click play, you control, you know, you watch the video like you would VHS, DVD, or whatever. But Yeah, VOD. You can download your VODs. Yeah. There's not only can you download your VODs, but there's actually a button on your VODs on Twitch that just lets you port them to YouTube without having to download them, which is nice. But you're always going to record at a higher bit rate than you are going to be streaming. So if you want like a pristine copy, I'd highly recommend, you know, highly recommend. What does Sacred Sword do? Oh, snap. That's evil. So no matter how much they up their defense, Sacred Sword can still cut them down. Oh, yeah, yeah. Of course, I was smart about it when I first started doing this years ago. I kept copies of everything I've ever streamed or recorded, so. Because you never, the internet's a fickle place. And you never know when your channel's going to get deleted for some dumb, stupid reason. You know, you never know. These platforms change their terms of service every other week. And something you might have said or did last week, you know, a year from now might not be acceptable. Like, I recently heard that vaping might be cut out on Twitch and YouTube. They don't want people vaping. I don't know if there's any validity to that. I haven't looked into it, but I don't vape or smoke or anything, but Tyler vapes when we stream, so like that was an issue on YouTube in the past. There's been moments where people have fought with YouTube and said, listen, when I made that video, that was 12 years ago. Under the terms of service from 12 years ago. You can't go and delete my video now just because it doesn't meet the current terms of conditions. And I think YouTube agreed with that. I think every terms of service update only applies to the content going forward from the date of that TOS update. I think. I'm not completely sure. Well, like I said, it's you're always going to stream at a way lower bit rate than you're going to record, so you don't want it to look like, you know, garbage. Let me figure this out. Here we go. I forgot to get water before I sat down. I am so sad and thirsty. And you know, years ago, when I first started streaming, I didn't record and stream at the same time. So, you know, there are a handful of videos on my YouTube channel where I just exported the VOD from Twitch over to YouTube. There's even a handful of videos on my YouTube channel where the starting soon screen is still there. It took there was a learning curve there. I didn't know what I was doing at first. I was clueless. I mean, not that I know what I'm doing now, but you get what I mean. Well, do you stream through Wi-Fi or do you have a wired connection? Because that's going to make all the difference in the world. It also matters where you live. If you live way out in the boondocks, your internet's not going to be quite so good. My mom. Oh, shite. Ooh. Yeah, I bet that earthquake stung a little bit, didn't it? I saw earlier that there might be another, well, there might be a Nintendo Direct this month. Sometime after the Donkey Kong is released. They're not going to do one before Donkey Kong. But after that comes out in a few days. Maybe. Maybe we'll finally get a release date for Metroid Prime 4. That's like the biggest game I've been waiting for. Hell, at this point, we've been waiting for it for 8 years. Although it's been longer because we kind of figured they might do another one. What year was, so it was, so 18 years. Sorry, I'm a little slow when I try to do math. If Metroid Prime 3 came out in 2007, I think it was 2007, then that would mean I've been waiting on that sequel for 18 years. Good Lord. But I have all the faith in the world that Retro Studios will deliver a fantastic product. They always do. They never fail us. And what little bit we've seen of it so far, the game really looks good. The music is true Metroid Prime music. You just don't know how much I love Metroid Prime music. And like, here's the thing. I'm not like a, what do they call that music? EDM, like dance club music. I don't like any of that stuff. I'm not a big fan of synth and synthwave and all that kind of stuff. It's not really my bag, but I make an exception for the synth sounding music in Metroid Prime. I like it. It works. Oh, your friend money. Well, hey, at least your debit card is active and you can actually spend your paychecks now. That's a plus. Hey, you're dark fighting? We're gonna use Ghost. Huh, so the fighting part of you protected you. Oh, let's do Sacreds. Oh, why didn't I do this from the get-go? I'm stupid. Why didn't I use that move first? Oh. Sky Uppercut! Ooh. $85.90. It's stronger. Yeah, paying debts is very important. Always make sure you do that. Ooh, we have 3 choices. And we made the incorrect one. Hey, I'll take it. What was the point in that? Why would you even set the panels up that way? I mean, like, here's the thing. I get it. Video game, you need puzzles. But, like, in their universe, why would you set the panels up just to take you in a circle and go nowhere? That makes no sense. Does our bottom screen even work? Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, has the bottom screen been working today? Because I look down and it's black. There. Excuse me, sir. So many team flare members. Toxic croak. Well, we're getting good XP out of this. That didn't do what I thought it was going to do. I don't think I appreciated Dual Blade's design back in the day as much as I do now. Honestly, that goes for most of the Pokemon that are like I'd say 6 onward. Damn it. Yeah, interest rates are very important when it comes to finance. Very important. Let's see. We'll go with Pangolin. I want to say, and I don't have, like, what I'm about to say is an opinion solely. I have absolutely no knowledge about this whatsoever. But I want to say that interest rates with most creditors are on average higher these days than they've ever been. And again, I'm basing that on absolutely nothing than just gut feeling. Because after COVID, inflation went up naturally due to the pandemic and the fallout from it, you know. Then companies kind of got a little greedy, started keeping prices too high for too long and kind of pricing people out of stuff, common amenities like groceries and stuff. And then, you know, your financial institutions probably did the same thing. Investing is also really important. Again, I can't stress that enough for people who are younger and just getting started with money. Like I said in the past, my recommendation is to always put money in the bank that you just never touch. Like, don't even think about touching it till you're 60 or 65. It's something that I wish that I had done when I first went to work as a teenager. I wish that I had put money away. And I didn't. I blew it all in like an asshat. Yeah, I do remember the McDonald's dollar menu. Hello? Why do I keep getting these phone calls from people who just don't talk? My phone didn't say it was spam, so I answered it. You have failed me, phone. Hello. Usually my phone tells me when it's spam, but it didn't tell me this time. It was just dead air. Womp womp. Yeah, I usually don't. Oh. Oh, I'm about to mush you up, Weavile. You are not ready for flamethrower. Told you. Yeah, that's what people have told me. The more that I answer, the more they'll call. And like I said, I usually don't answer, but this time it didn't have the caller ID didn't tell me who it was, so I figured just to be safe. You never know, it might be something important. Oh my god, I'm such a boomer. Elevator key. Now we can really scoot around this place. Ultimate weapons, final solutions. That doesn't work out. That's just pure evil. Oh yeah. Everybody wishes they could have bought in on Apple and Google and whatnot. Trust me. How am I this perpetually lost? Oh shit. I gotta pay more attention to what I'm doing. Go this way. And we go this way. We go this way. Well, no, because that puts me back in the same spot that we were in. Well, hold up. Now, hold on just a minute here. Battled her. There's no items or anything to pick up in here. I think Apple would sell you their soul if you could give them if you gave them money. I'll be honest with you, I don't know where to go. Oh, I'm stupid. I'm still thinking there's more puzzle to solve by going around. No, we have the elevator key. Eric. And I accidentally pressed B. Basement, please. Whoa. Whoa, big fella. There's the big guy. Wasn't his name AZ? A terribly long time ago. There was a man and a Pokemon. He loved that Pokemon very much. A war began. The man's beloved Pokemon took part in the war. several years passed. He was given a tiny box. The man wanted to bring the Pokemon back, no matter what it took. The man built a machine to give it life. He brought his beloved Pokemon back. The man had suffered too much. His rage still had not subsided. He could not forgive the world that had hurt the Pokemon he loved. He turned the machine into the ultimate weapon. The man became a bringer of destruction that ended the war. The Pokemon that was given life must have known that the lives of many Pokemon were taken to restore its life. The resurrected Pokemon left the man. "3,000 years? I don't blame the Pokemon though. Like, how could you not? How could you not leave the human after that? You know what I mean? Knowing that he sacrificed a ton of lives just to bring back one. That is extremely selfish. It's one of the most selfish ideas I've ever heard. Part of being an adult and part of being grown up and responsible is understanding you have to make hard choices in life. AZ should have known better. Push one button to activate the ultimate weapon from this room. You're leaving it up to me? I gotta fight this chubbo. Alright, Tubbs. I never really liked Apple. I'll be honest with you. I've never had an iPhone. I always preferred Android. Let's see, how am I going to handle this? We'll do Shadow Claw. Clinched and can't move. I'm not getting anywhere because of the friggin' air cutter. See, we actually got an attack in and we're able to do some damage. Eat crow. Crow bat. Malamar. Malamar's a fun evolution. How about Sacred Sword? Shit. We really don't have a lot of potions left for this. We may have to switch out and change strategies. Yep. Let's switch out. How about we go with Florgus? Might need a nap. So I used the track for nothing. Sorry, Chunky. Push the red button, push the blue button. What decision will it be? We'll find out after a brief commercial message. No, but for real, I'm going to take a break. I'm not ending, but I am going to take a minute. Let me get me some water, use the restroom. I need to get up, walk around, stir a little bit because I'm falling asleep sitting here. So. Uno momento, por favor. It is not a sleeping stream. But I did grab my Monster Energy drink. And water. I know, a water bottle. At least I take these down to recycling. It's just easier. Oh. There you are. Yes, there I is. I'm back from my restroom and break and drink run. Hello. Hey, Luis, what is up? You made it. Sleepyhead. We're at a crucial point in our story here. Red button, blue button. I was told that if I press one of these buttons, there's obviously a 50-50 chance that one of them will activate the machine. The other one will cause the machine to lay dormant. And we're good to go. Sorry, I'm just looking at Discord real quick before we make this world-changing decision of pressing the wrong button. Rolf. I'm gonna let chat decide. I'm gonna let you guys decide. Which button shall it be? Now, I chose blue version of Pokemon. Tyler chose red version of Pokemon back in the 90s. Politically, I always do blue instead of red. I come to learn recently that that's flipped in some countries. Well, I don't really, red is not really in the top spectrum of my favorite colors. Blue, on the other hand, is, however. So I'm going to vote blue. You guys tell me. Is the wrench a mod badge? I think so. We're about to find out. We gonna find out. Let's see. Let's all right, so we got one vote for red. And one vote for blue. Or I could take myself out of the equation. And that's one vote for red. All right, Lewis, what's it going to be? Red or blue? Yeah, I know. Tyler's the same way. Green's his favorite, but like, that's not the choice we've been given here. You guys got to pick red or blue. Monkey Gamer says red. Which one? Blue. Well, that's not helpful in the least bit. We need a tiebreaker. Is anybody else watching that wants to break this tie? So this is why I wish I had more than 2 or 3 people in chat all at any given time. We need a tiebreaker. The icons and badges are done. Oh, those look great. I love them. Lewis is the guy who makes all of my channel icons and what have you. I just think if I didn't have him and he wasn't making those, I'd probably have some dumb picture of my face up there. What are we voting for? Well, on your screen there, you see there's a blue button and a red button. And whichever one I press is going to activate, or maybe it won't activate, the ultimate weapon that's going to kill millions of people. No pressure at all, you know, just. Red. We have 2 choices for red. Let's go. Too bad. Pushing that button has enabled us to use the ultimate weapon. Don't feel too down though. I have already activated even if you had guessed correctly. So just like real life, the game was rigged and your vote didn't matter. Womp womp. Hope you've all learned a very powerful lesson today. You swore you persuaded him with a cookie for his vote. That's what we call lobbying. And it's totally broken and morally corrupt. But they do it anyway. Somebody is zooming down the road on a riding lawnmower. I didn't know they could go that fast. He's got one of the big boy lawnmowers too. Don't you fucking dare say you're doing this for science. How dare you? Hey, don't you dare say bad stuff about the cinematics. This was back in the era where cinematics were hard to do. Lying about lobbying. That is also accurate to real life. You are hitting every nail on the head today. Oh. Which town was it? This one. Lobbying? I never lobbied. I want a cookie. Oh, by the way, I may or may not have some good news to share. I may or may not have a friend of a friend who might or might not have started Ozempic yesterday. Hypothetically speaking, of course. Oh, I need to go heal. And this friend of my friend is going to keep me apprised at how things are going. Oh, wait, I should probably buy some stuff. That would be smart of me. We need some hyper potions. Oh, wow, we're not broke like we were in the last episode. Remember when I spent all that money last time? I don't know what you're talking about either. I didn't spend all that money in the last episode. It's not like it's recorded and on the internet for you to prove me wrong. we're not going to need any more revives. Full heals! Hot damn! I could finally buy full heals. I've been waiting a long time to get my hands on some full heals, let me tell you. I'm just sharing a story about Ozempic. Nothing more, nothing less. Wink. Because I don't have health insurance. I can't afford to go get my own Ozempic. I'd never do anything wrong. I'm a good boy. Yeah, I am an open book. You know, if somebody were to pitch a fit, I would say, you're welcome to come over here and try and prove it. I did a 72-hour fast. I don't even remember what I ate Thursday night, but I didn't eat anything starting Friday morning. And I went all of Friday, all of Saturday, and most of Sunday. Sunday evening, I ended up eating. But not that I couldn't have gone longer. I was just scared. I always get scared to go longer than 72 hours. Little chozo. Yeah, I've been fat most of my life, and I'm fucking sick of it, man. I had a little skinny mini era back in the 20 teens. I was going to the gym, fasting a lot. I worked in a factory, so I had a pretty like physically demanding job. So, you know. Then I just got fat and depressed around the time I started, you know, maybe a couple of years into YouTube. My depression really fucking took off, man. Worse than it's ever been. And I've had the depression since I was a damn child. I should have been medicated for it when I was a child, but in the 90s, you just didn't do that. You did not medicate children for depression. You didn't even talk about depression as an adult. People really kind of saw mental health issues as taboo back then. People didn't... You told somebody you had mental health problems, they would give you the side eye and kind of look down their nose at you, but... yeah, losing muscle is a huge problem with like weight loss and fasting and stuff like that, because you're not getting the nutrients that your body needs, and you're just gonna make yourself sick. So you definitely need to take vitamins and supplements if you're fasting. Stay hydrated, drink plenty of water. Make sure you tell your doctor that you're doing it, and never really do it. Like, if you're going to do a 24-hour fast, 48, 72, don't do them consecutively. Break them up. Like, let's say you did a 48-hour fast. Don't do another one for a week, maybe. Give or take. You know, you really don't want to make yourself sick. And you can drop a lot of weight by fasting, but it's not a permanent fix. And I know a lot of people who are going to, you know, roll their eyes at me. Yeah, I know. Weight loss is definitely best tackled by lifestyle changes, but, you know, I get it. Lifestyle changes are kind of hard to make, especially the older you get. Because you really get set into your ways and you really get set into your routines, and it can be really hard to kind of change that up. And that's one of the biggest things I'm doing, you know. I'm really fighting with myself to make some lifestyle changes. Choices too, you know. Just trying to make better choices. Be less stupid. We'll see how it works out. It's going to take weeks and months of constantly, you know, fasting and eating right and what have you to start seeing some real results. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I'll feel a lot better. I won't be on so many prescriptions for like blood pressure and stuff. That's kind of hoping that I can get there, you know. We'll see. Like I said, I'm not doing everything I'm doing just for weight loss, for vanity's sake. I'm doing it as a health journey. I generally want to try and just make better decisions. Do better, be better. That's my ultimate goal. And I'm trying to do that across the board with everything too. You know, I'm trying not to bitch as much. I'm trying not to complain as much. I'm trying not to be as negative. I'm trying to look as things on the positive side as much as I can. I'm all around trying to make the necessary improvements to me as a person that I need to make. Which is more than I can say for haircut here. The number of people in Pokemon has increased to an unsustainable level. Whether it's money or energy, the ones who steal are the ones who win in this world. But that doesn't give you the right to destroy everyone but the ones Team Flare chooses. So tell me, the Mega Ring, did you share it? Well, that's different. We competed for it, but when there is only one of something, it can't be shared. When something can't be shared, it will be fought over. And when something is fought over, some must survive without. The only way to create a world where people live in beauty, world without conflict or theft, is to reduce the number of living things. Now, Lizandre, blow your roll. I don't disagree with that. But the goal is, like, here's the thing. The goal with that is to kind of cull the population, not by murdering anybody. you son of a bitch. What you want to do is make sure that the birth rates become like a healthy, sustainable level so that we don't just run out of life. But you also don't want to overpopulate, which I don't know what they're teaching in schools nowadays, but for anybody watching this on the YouTubes, when people politically talk about like there being less humans on the planet and kind of getting the birth rates down and whatnot, they're not doing it because there's some sort of comic book evil villain. What they're saying is birth rates have kind of gotten out of control because mortality, like infant mortality rates, are always a concern, especially in developing countries. Which I just recently learned we don't say third world anymore. That is an outdated way of looking at things, and I didn't know that until recently. I feel like I had known that before and just didn't correct my vocabulary and behavior, so that's on me. I'm canceling myself. But no, I do agree that the more overcrowded the world becomes, the more it's going to get hectic. But Lizandre here, much like if you remember Cyrus from Team Galactic, he was similar in that vein where he wanted to create an entire new universe devoid of like people and Pokemon. Pokemon are wonderful beings. Humans have worked with Pokemon and have helped each other flourish. But precisely because of that, they will inevitably become tools of war and theft. Yeah. See, like, now that we have really good medicine and we have really good science and medical science has evolved, mortality rates have gone down. People live longer. People live healthier lives. And because of that, you don't need to have 8 children per family. So that's what people on the left and progressives are talking about when they talk about kind of, you don't need to get married and produce a family of 12 children. You can if you want to, but you're kind of eating up resources unnecessarily on a grander scale. You don't need 12 children. That's a little selfish on your behalf. Because believe it or not, we are living in a bubble on Earth. It's a finite amount of resources. And the more humans you put out in the world, the more resources you take up. So ideally, a family should have maybe 2 or 3 children and then let it go. If that. A lot of people have stopped wanting children. Like millennials are the first generation to really kind of say, I don't want kids. I'm good. And I think that the next 2 generations, Gen Alpha and Z and whatever the hell else, I think they're going to really make the birth rates take a dive. And it's not going to be a bad thing, because I think we're up to what, 8 billion humans now on the planet, give or take. That's unsustainable. Like, we're all going to die. But with all that being said, you don't kill living people to solve that problem. What you do is you increase the quality of life for everybody by not being a selfish son of a bitch, millionaires and billionaires. You have more of a socialist mindset. There are enough resources for everybody currently. Will it be that way forever? No. But currently, we could take care of everybody on Earth. Scarcity is a man-made phenomenon. Animals don't have that problem in nature unless we create it for them. But the problem with Lizandre is that he wants to just kill everybody. He's psychotic. Just like what's his face was with Team Galactic, Cyrus. Absolutely psychotic. You get your partner for, yeah. We better switch if he's going to use Pyroar. Idealistic people make really good artists, but sometimes they can be a little bit trouble sometimes. Usually they're harmless, usually, but then you get the stray wackadoo like Lizandre here that just wants to murder everybody. Oh yeah, you're part flying. That's not gonna do much. Holy crap! Uh-oh. No, Florges. Not my floor. Yes. No, you did not. Honchcrow. I like Honchcrow. He's cool. Shit. Well, that's how my parents felt. They wanted a boy and a girl, and they got lucky. They got one boy and they got one girl, and then they stopped. They were responsible. Like I said, most of the world is free. You know, you can do what you want. You want 18 children, go for it, but you're being a little selfish if you do. I'm gonna use bite. 2's the healthy number. I mean, hell, even 3 or 4. I don't necessarily see anything wrong with 3 or 4, but by the time you break 5, I'm starting to kind of be like, all right now. All right, that's a lot. I don't know. I like the idea of just 2. I would stop at 2 myself. Well, we beat Haircut here. What's he gonna do? He's not taking defeat very easily, is he? Yeah, that always baffled me too, why people have kids even when they're financially unstable and they can't really take care of them. It's irresponsible, but in a way I kind of get it. I mean, the world is kind of like, I don't like it, but I also try not to judge with that one because it's a tricky gray area. You know what I mean? Because it's not necessarily, it's not people's fault most of the time that they are either born into poverty or find themselves later in life in a situation. Like, I can't judge people for their lot in life. You know, even when somebody fucks up and makes a ton of mistakes, I try not to wave my finger at them and look down my nose, because who the hell am I? That's why I don't preach, you know, to people when they fuck up and make a mistake. Like, I don't really judge anybody if they become an alcoholic. I don't judge people if they, you know, go off the wagon and have a drug problem. It's like, I get it. Life's hard. I don't judge you for that. I do the same thing with food. I might not do drugs or drink alcohol, but I definitely shortened my life by eating like a trash panda most of my life. So who the hell am I to talk? You know what I mean? You know, it's tricky. You know, why are people having children if they're you know, living in poverty? It's tricky, because you don't want, if it's your dream in life to have children and have a family, it's not really fair to say, well, you shouldn't because you can't afford it. No, you make it work. You know, I still say you shouldn't have 12, but I get it. Do I like salad? Yeah, salad's alright. My fat ass could definitely use more salad in my life, but see, that's the thing too. Like, the majority of my obesity is driven by depression. Short and simple. You know what I mean? I try to cope with food, and it's... What do I put in my salad? Well, usually if I'm gonna have a salad, it's gonna be like a pre-built one that I get from the store. I've never really made my own salad from scratch. Whatever comes in a pre-made salad. Ranch dressing is really the only salad dressing I like. I don't like the others. I don't like tomatoes. I'm sorry. I don't like tomatoes. I just don't. Yeah, I don't eat tomatoes. Like if I buy a salad that has tomatoes in the, I'll take them out and toss them. Same for like if I go somewhere and get a hamburger and they put tomatoes on there, I'm throwing that shit in the trash. I usually tell them no tomatoes when I order a burger. Like, put everything else on there. Hell yeah, mayonnaise, ketchup, mustard, whatever you got to put. Onions, love onions. Whatever you want to put on that burger, bacon, lettuce, you load that. Mushrooms are great on a burger. You load that sucker up. But if I find one tomato on there, I swear. But I know people have called me out on that over the years too. You don't like tomatoes, but you'll have ketchup. I eat ketchup very sparingly. Like I usually don't have it with fries either. I'll eat ketchup as long as it's not globbed on. As long as there's a reasonable amount of it on the food. I love pizza. See, that's the thing. I don't like tomatoes unless they've been processed into some sort of sauce. I know it doesn't make any sense, but I help my brain. Yeah, I will eat all of the pizza. But I still don't want raw tomatoes or tomatoes in general on my pizza. It needs to be in the sauce. Make it make sense, right? The sound doom. I love spaghetti. Now, Italian food, that you got me with Italian food. It is too good. It is too good. Pastas, pizzas, spaghettis. I will eat until I make myself sick. I mean, I don't do that. I'm just saying, like, that's how much I like the food. I love some pasta. Can't be a fatty and not like pasta. Is she healing my team every time we fight somebody? Nope. Now see here, little lady. Maybe they'll heal my team before we go into the final room. Oh yeah, see, chicken Alfredo is fantastic. Oh, she's gonna hack the door. Hacker girl. Oh, she broke Clement's device. What? Okay. Yeah. If they heal me after I use these items, I'm gonna be pissed. Ugh. Oh no! Oh yeah, I'm pretty confident I can beat all four of you. You're going down like the clowns that you are. Do you guys think that Team Flare still has a presence in the Kalos region? We go back in October. Are we going to run into them again? Y'all gonna make me hungry. Now I want some chicken Alfredo. And I'm fasting today. Have you ever considered doing a cooking stream? I have actually thought about that. Cooking stream, no, but cooking in my vlogs, maybe. Maybe. I used to cook a little bit back in the day, and then I just kind of stopped. Like I said, 2018, 19, 2020, around that era, I kind of just gave up on everything. Stopped cooking, stopped everything. Like, my main focuses from that time forward were making sure that I showered every day, making sure that I kept my hygiene up, and then streaming every day. Those were practically my two goals in life every day, because my depression was fucking bad. There were some days where I didn't stream and some days where I just didn't get out of bed. I couldn't. I wanted to. I tried, but I couldn't. And thankfully, I haven't had a day like that in a long time, you know. But I wouldn't mind getting back to cooking instead of always eating quick microwave bullshit. It's just very involved. I don't know why I mega evolved and went so extra on the last battle, when I could have just as easily used Surf a couple of times and took him out. It's 2 down, 2 to go, I think. Bum, 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 bum. The good thing is she just has this one Pokemon, so it shouldn't take that long. I don't know, what are the police doing here? It's a police truck driving down the road. I don't ever really see them out this far. I live in the suburbs. I rarely ever see a a cop, especially out here where I live. Like they're allergic to my area. But yeah, no, the streaming is pretty much 99% just the gaming stuff as far as I'm concerned. If I were going to do cooking stuff, it would just be in a vlog, you know, it wouldn't. I'm not really interested in streaming something like that. I am, however, interested in doing some more non-gaming related streams for the YouTube channel, not on Twitch. Because you know how Twitch, or you know how YouTube has home tab, videos, live, community tab, yada, yada, yada. They actually separate your live streams from your videos as far as categories are concerned. And I would like to start filling up that live tab with material. Now, I do have a live stream that I want to do, but I gotta have the energy to sit down and do it. Because it would be it would be a live stream in addition to the stream like we're doing today, you know? So, I'm already falling asleep, so. Could you just faint already? You little stinker. Such a ball. I don't want to join Team Flare. What the hell's wrong with you, cue ball? Gold bot. I just don't want to. Honestly, like, I'm pretty content with what I do now, and I just really don't want to add much else to what I'm doing. Because like I said, my goal with this is to kind of just do it as a hobby and do what, you know, I like doing. Now, if I were trying to chase like monetization and subscribers and my goal was to like blow up and turn it into an actual thing, then yeah, I probably would be streaming and recording everything I could think of and get my hands on. Because at the end of the day, I'm fully aware of what makes a YouTube channel successful. Same for Twitch. You know, I have eyes. I can see what the other people are doing and see how they're successful in what they're doing. But at the end of the day, what makes me is doing the things the way that I'm doing them now, you know. So I don't know if that makes any sense. I like the way that I do things versus like, I would feel like I was just chasing something that I wasn't interested in if I did a whole bunch of extra stuff. Because like, from the very beginning, when I first started doing content creation, I said, I'm not going to be one of those uppity, high energy YouTube bros or streaming bros that's like constantly asking you to subscribe and shouting out my social media and begging for like money and stuff. I said, no, I don't want to do any of that. That's very extremely off-putting to me, so I don't want to do it to other people. Go, Blastoise! Let's see if we can't catch this sucker. Megahorn! I love Xerneas. It is one of my favorite Pokemon by design standards. I think its legs are swords. Its antlers are awesome. I love its color scheme, the black and blue. I love the fact that it's a deer. I love everything about Xerneas. Very majestic. Very much majestic. I love him. Let's see if we can catch it. Close. What am I doing? Focus. You see, I have terrible focus. Let's try Luxury Ball. I look down at my phone to read chat and I've already forgot that I'm throwing Pokeballs instead of attacking it. If you're live, you have to make videos kind of like... See, that's the other thing too, like... That would be very exhausting to have to be on all the time. You know what I mean? Like... I'm glad that I went the route that I went, you know? Because looking back on it, I have more or less been as authentic as I can over the years. I mean, I've probably had moments where I was not being authentic. Everybody does. I'm only human, but... To my recollection, to the best of my memory, I've always tried to be as authentic and as real and as me as possible without like putting on airs or being extra or anything like that. I've always tried to just be me, just sit here and play the game and hang out. That was always more my goal, was to have more of a hangout vibe instead of a like putting on a show vibe. I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe I did have a putting on a show vibe in the beginning. I don't remember. Xerneas, the life Pokemon. Legends say it can share eternal life. It slept for 1,000 years in the form of a tree before its revival. Yeah. I love Xerneas. Good old Xerneas. Hell yeah, you better believe I'm going to add Xerneas to my party. Oh no, but that means somebody's got to go back. I don't know who I want to send back for this. That's not fair. Oh, he's got a device. You already lost. But if you want to go again, I'll fight you again, chump. He's going to use Mega Evolution. That's fine. I can do that too. Let's hit them with Moonblast. Bum, 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 bum. Tyler has always thought that it's just me being stubborn, that I won't like change the way that I do YouTube or Twitch and be more like other people. Not that he wants me to do that, you know, but he has mentioned once or twice, you should probably do this or this if you want more attention or subscribers. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I don't wanna. I'm more comfortable having no subscribers and doing this just for my own edification than I am being one of them. You know? You know what I mean? I don't know. Hi, Roar. Can I just moonblast his entire team into submission? Or will I actually need to switch out at some point? And I get it. It does come off as very pretentious and self-absorbed when I say stuff like, I'm just doing me, I'm just being me, I'm not gonna be like them. I get it. I know how it sounds. I hear it. But I don't want to lie about it. That's my thought process. It's how I feel when I do this, you know. And I do, you know, use the social medias to promote my stuff the best I can. It just I think TikTok did me in, because there was some growth on my channel there for a little while. I'd occasionally get a few new subscribers from time to time, but then TikTok took off. And all of a sudden, YouTube went dark. Gyarados. We'll see what we can do. Mega Horn. Mega Gyarados! You thought Gyarados looked wicked before. Look at it now. Wait, why is Mega Horn super effective? Gyarados is flying type. That's a bug type move. I don't understand. Who can play at that game, buddy? Go, Blastoise! Let's Mega Evolve and take this to the next level. Blizzard! Oh, that did not do what I thought it was gonna do. Ooh. Ow. Alright, fine. Fine. Oh no, this isn't gonna do much. I did more than I thought it would. Do you think I'd change if I ever blew up? I hope not. I know that most people do kind of change when they find success, money and fame and everything. The classic, you know, the classic cliched story of letting success go to your head. Maybe. I hope not. I don't think I'll ever have to worry about that though. I don't think I'll ever be successful. Like, successful in the sense of the way that other people measure success by being on YouTube and whatnot, you know. I think either I have already jumped the shark, or we're going to be middling like this from now on. This is just where we are. Just where I am, I guess. Like I said, I guess I'm okay with it. I mean, obviously I want more subscribers so that I can have more people in my chat when I'm live streaming. Because ultimately, that's what I really want. Is just to have a handful of people to talk to while I'm playing a game. That's all I want. I don't want a ton of money. I don't want a ton of subscribers. I don't want to go to fucking VidCon and TwitchCon and all that. I don't want this to be some sort of legacy where, oh, I'm the most famous streamer that ever lived. I don't want any of that crap. I just want a handful of people in chat that I can talk to while I'm streaming my games. I want the bare minimum. You know what I mean? I just want the bare minimum. And I'm very thankful to you guys as well. You know, you and Lewis, you know, you guys have found me and stuck around even though I'm the worst. I very much do appreciate you guys, because a lot of times I sit here and stream and I'm just talking to myself. So, and I don't have, you know, I don't have a lot of friends IRL either, so I don't really get to socialize much. This is about the most socializing I do when I get to talk to chat on stream. I know that's pathetic, but it's just where I am in life at the moment. So oh no! Long time ago. A very long time ago. Man made an ultimate weapon. Using it required the life force of many Pokemon. Pokemon granted eternal life learned this. The resurrected eternal Pokemon left the man's side. The man was surprised and sad. He had revived it so they could be together, but day after day passed. They were never to meet. Eventually, he became a mere shell of a man. A man condemned to wander forever by the light of a weapon. And a Pokemon that also wanders eternally. Where is it now? What do I have to do to meet it? It's a hell of a story, folks. Let me save just in case. Yeah, humans are social creatures, and I mean, I've always had trouble socializing with other people. I was a little bit shy when I was younger, and not nearly as shy as my sister, but I spent most of my youth, you know, alone. Pretty much just having Tyler as a friend most of my life. And then, you know, I started making friends with his friends. And then the GameStop opened here and I started meeting a lot of other people. And I met one friend one time who, and I'm reluctant to say he changed me, because obviously I'm responsible for my own. But my personality kind of took a turn for the not so great. And like, even when I look back now on the early 2010s, like 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, in that time frame, I used to go to GameStop and I would get on my soapbox and I'd talk about politics and I'd talk about the gaming industry and Hollywood and media in general. And sometimes there would be employees and customers that would agree with me. Of course, I live in the South, so a lot of times you get people who are politically opposed, you know. But we just stood around and had long conversations. It wasn't until years later I found out that most everybody hated me. They hated to see me come and go, here comes Big Mouth. He's gonna come in here and yap on for hours about nonsense. And yeah, I look back on that era of my life too, and it's very cringy. Like, I cringe at how stupid I was. It was very, very stupid of me. Like, I'm so fucking embarrassed by my behavior and by my running my mouth. But then, like 2013 and 14, you know, things changed. I wasn't hanging out at GameStop. I was making new friends and running around more, getting out more. I really wasn't playing video games at all during that time. When I did play games, I was playing like Monster Hunter with my friends or Smash Brothers with my friends. I wasn't playing a lot of single player stuff. We were all pretty much, let's get together with our 3DSs and play Smash Brothers or Monster Hunter. You know, that was what we were doing during that era. And a lot of Pokemon stuff too. But slowly but surely, you know, my friends all moved away. It kind of left me stranded where I live without really anybody. But I had one or two friends left that didn't move. But 2015, 16, 17, 18, as time went on, I started going through a whole bunch of mental stuff. My other friends that were still here started going through mental stuff, and we just kind of fell off. We didn't talk as much. We didn't hang out. I started doing YouTube and became a real homebody. Things were bad in the country. Things were bad politically. Every day I was just getting bombarded nonstop with like the bad guys winning. The fascists were winning every day. Nazis were back. It seemed like every day the news was just more and more like anti-LGBT crap, more like anti-minorities in general crap, like anti-people of color, anti-immigrants, anti-everything. And it was just a very dark time. My depression continued to compound and my interactions with other people continued to go down. 2016, I had a complete mental breakdown. Like, I wouldn't say it was a nervous breakdown, but it was like a depressive episode where I was nearly in need of being hospitalized from how bad my depression was, because I was ready to end it. I was ready to just be done. But thankfully, I'm still around. It's years later, and I've made somewhat of a recovery. I've been able to bounce back. I've been able to find, you know, some solace of enjoyment in life. Doing the YouTube and the streaming stuff has definitely helped me out and definitely helped course correct me as I went along. So there's that, you know. I don't know. Media has always been here for me in a way humans have failed me. Because even when I was going through my worst, my friends were kind of being dicks and assholes to me. There was a lot of talking behind my back. There was a lot of people who were like, you know, rumors and speculation. There was a lot of I later found out that my roommate at the time, you know, a buddy of mine who was homeless, mind you, I let him move in because he was a friend of ours. He was in our friend circle. I let him move in. He lived here for 2 years, rent-free, utility-free, didn't pay a dime. Up until the end, I think he paid a couple of times to help out with bills, but he lived here 2 years almost rent-free. I find out later, after the fact, after he moved away, that motherfucker would go stand at GameStop and badmouth me all until he had to go to work in the afternoon. So that's the kind of friends that I've had. the kind that use and, you know, but I soured on humans because of stuff like that, you know. I won't tell everybody's story, but yeah, I had to deal with a lot of people making threats. A lot of people weren't cool. A lot of people. It's just a very tumultuous time in my life, and every day some new fuck shit was happening, and every day I soured further and further on humans until I just got to the point. I got to a certain level of like what's it called? With my health declining, so has my like ability to remember words. What's it called when you hate people? Misanthrope. That's the word I'm looking for. Jesus Christ, Eric. Yeah. But yeah, on top of all the mental up and downs and the social up and downs of people, my health has been up and down, and it's just been an unmitigated nightmare. But things are better today than they were back then, and that's really all I can hope for, is that every day is a little better. That's why I said I'm fighting to just stay as positive as I can. And you'll notice that on stream too, from one day to another. Some days I'm having better days than others on the show. Some days I'm positive and happy and I'm talking about all the good stuff that's happening. And then some days I get on here and go into a rant about politics or some other bullshit. It's just being human. I mean, you know, at this point, I'm kind of tired of trying to be positive all the time. There are going to be moments where I get on here and bitch. And it's totally cool if you guys have to like check out for that episode or mute me or whatever. It's fine. I understand completely. I'm as flawed as everybody else. You know, I'm going to have good days. I'm going to have bad days, but I look back on my life socially and I see the ups and downs, the pitfalls, the perils. I see the mistakes that I made. I see how terrible I was. I see the mistakes I made in trusting certain people and how terrible they were. My choices were in people, and I have made peace. And I'm not just saying that. I really literally have made peace at this point with not having friends. Like, I got Tyler. I got a few friends online, you know, and I have a couple of people that I still talk to. I don't know where they stand with me. I don't know where I stand with them, but talking to them less and less and less every day. Waiting for the rant to be over. Yeah. And see, that I'm fully aware that people don't like rants, but sometimes I'm also scared that if I don't get the rant out, it'll bottle up and become a stomach ulcer or something. They say not to bottle up anger too much because it's very unhealthy. It's bad for your heart, bad for your stomach. But somebody who is just perpetually angry all the time and is always on their soapbox and always has something to bitch about really should just go get therapy. Like right now. I feel this is more of an intimate conversation than a rant, but you know, I also went to therapy. I did go see somebody, you know. That's how I got my depression medication. But yeah. Some years are darker than others. Some days are better than others. It varies. And like I've said many times this year alone, I am trying my hardest not to rant on the show anymore. But I'm only human. Every now and then one's going to pop out. You just kind of got to take it or leave it, I guess, you know. But I think I'm doing okay-ish. Like I said, I don't really want to become one of the big boys that always has to be on and always has to stream at a level, like at a level 110 energy. Can't keep up with that. But I think that's where I'm going to end things for today. We did a long episode today. We're getting closer to the end of our Pokemon journey here. How many badges do we have? We have 7 badges, so Rip Lazandre, I suppose. I think he died in there. Now, whether they kind of bring him back for Legends or Legends EA, I don't know. They probably will. Who the hell knows? Characters in fiction are never really dead. Yeah, it can always be written back in, but I remember when this game came out, I was very shocked that they actually just killed off a character. I was like, whoa. Pokemon actually went there? That's all right. But with Team Flare thwarted, we're free to get back on track next time. We're going to head to the next gym, get all the gym badges, and we're going to really dive deep into this Mega Evolution, I'm assuming, and see what that's all about. And I guess the only thing left is the Pokemon League. And then at that point, we'll more or less be done with all of the retro Pokemon games up until Sun and Moon. That'll be the last generation. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Been fun. It's been enlightening to people who might be new to the channel. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. I am going to be streaming on YouTube for a while. We got to get the watch hours up. See you, folks.